It is night by the time Sam makes it to Dylan's party. He finds Michaela chatting with some work friends, while Dylan is in another room talking to a client. Sam sits and asks if he can talk to Michaela alone. Her work friends leave. At the reflection pool, Sentinel spreads out his 5 pillars across the pool, while Shockwave supplies him with around 100 more. Megatron and Starscream watch from the Lincoln Memorial.
Ah, Master, such a brilliant scheme. So you allowed Optimus to find Sentinel so that you could convince him to our side.
I convinced him into a collaboration. But yes, the only way to revive Sentinel, we needed Prime and his Matrix. He shoots the Lincoln Memorial statue and sits in the chair, echoing the G1 episode where the Decepticons take control of DC. The Autobots arrive along with Lennox and the rest of his team. With several Autobots being injured, it is mostly Optimus and Bumblebee. Sentinel has the pillars positioned and places his hand on the control pillar as Optimus runs up. Commencing transport.
Stop! No! No, no, Sentinel!
Forgive me.
The space bridge opens, revealing the giant Decepticon fleet assembled in deep space. Here we are. Fight us now. At Dylan's party, Sam's conversation with Michaela is interrupted by Dylan entering. He switches on the TV. Have you guys seen what's going on? The Decepticon armada enters through the portal, laying waste to Washington, D.C. Optimus orders the Autobots to retreat as he goes after Sentinel. That's right, Prime. Run after your great mentor. Optimus fires a shot at Megatron, but he dodges. Optimus catches up with Sentinel and tackles him. Their conversation remains the same. Optimus vows that this is not over. Back at Dylan's party, Sam is weirded out that Dylan turned on the TV at the exact moment the portal opened. How did you know to turn on the TV? I heard rumblings about giant robots by the Washington Monument. Michaela, we should go. Thanks for the party, Dylan. I don't know if I can let you guys leave, especially after that. Your car could be a robot by this point. I think we'll be okay. I don't think you understand, Sam. I can't let you leave. You see, you may have had a choice in which side of the alien war you took, but I didn't. So when it's not your war, you join the side that's going to win. At hearing this, Sam and Michaela rush to the car Dylan gave them. Sam realizes what Dylan meant too little too late, as the car transforms into Soundwave and traps Michaela. Dylan attaches the small watch bot to Sam's wrist, instructing him to get information from Optimus. He promises to let Michaela go once the Decepticons have all the information they need from Sam. I'm sorry, Sam, but sometimes in business you get stuck with a deal that only benefits the other party. It happened to me, and if you're not careful, it will happen to you. Do your job. You'll be safe. You have my word. Sentinel, Megatron, and Shockwave return via ground bridge to the Nemesis, which is making preparations to join the fleet in orbit. Megatron shows Sentinel the cargo hold containing the rest of the pillars. Sentinel partially activates the control pillar and scowls. This is not the full arsenal. You promised me every pillar. At hearing this, Starscream leaves to go move the pillar he hid. It is. Don't lie to me, Decepticon. One is still on the Ark. How long were you planning on hiding it from me? I did not hide it. The two in charge of taking the pillars were Shockwave and... Megatron glares. Starscream. Starscream rushes into the Ark and grabs the pillar. Megatron will have my head if he finds me here. So much for using this to waylay him in some unknown galaxy. I will return it to the cargo hold. What distrust that will sow. Starscream takes a step forward before hearing a shotgun rack behind him. He turns to see Megatron and Sentinel. There's your missing pillar, Sentinel.
Master, if you would just allow me to explain.
No, Starscream. I have put up with your antics and vague threats of betrayal for a long time. You never had the spark to follow through on them, so I found them to be quite entertaining. But now that you have threatened this plan, one that could finally restore our home and allow me to finally rule, I have had enough.
Master,
Quiet! You will remain at my side unless otherwise instructed until Cybertron has been rebuilt. If you attempt to flee,
You will perish on this very day. Do you understand? Do you?
yes, Lord Megatron, I thank you for your infinite mercy. Mercy? Do you really think I would keep you around after Cybertron is restored?
You are important enough to the Decepticon ranks to keep around, not because of my infinite mercy, but because you still have some use to me.
Starscream shudders, realizing his days are numbered.
Not like a Decepticon to be merciful, not like an Autobot to betray his own kind.
The three return to the Nemesis. Shockwave informs Megatron that Sam has been rigged, and that the UN is ready to hear his demands.
Inhabitants of Earth, we have come for your natural resources to rebuild our damaged planet. Once we have taken everything we require, we will leave your world in peace. Our conflict has never been with humanity, so my only demand is this. Exile the Autobot rebels you have harbored, and we will have no reason to quarrel with you. We await your reply.
Sam tries to go home, but is summoned to NASA by Director Mering. She commends him for his work and for trying to warn everyone, even if it did break protocol and her explicit commands. Sam, Lennox, and Burke all watch the United Nations meeting on TV after Megatron's message. Simmons and Dutch arrive, with Simmons in a wheelchair. Director Mering arrives as well, and the 6 humans watch as there is an almost unanimous vote to exile the Autobots from Earth. While conflicted, Director Mering follows orders and orders the Autobots to join them at NASA so their spacecraft can be launched from Earth. Optimus sends the Wreckers ahead to prepare for the launch, and they coordinate with the NASA team. As Sam is standing there, the Wreckers implore him to try and talk some sense into the human leaders.
Sam, you can't let him exile us. It's a Decepticon trap.
Sam, Lennox, and Burke all watch the Autobot ship get prepped, when they hear a call behind them. They turn to find Epps. The audience learns that after Egypt, Epps had enough of aliens shooting at him, so he requested a switch from active combat to helping with the Autobot ship. The rest of the Autobots arrive a few hours later. Sam goes to talk to them. Optimus is staring up at the Autobot ship when Sam comes up to him.
What your leaders say is true, Sam. This was all my fault. I told them whom to trust. I was so wrong.
That doesn't make you wrong, it just makes you human for a change.
Remember this. You may lose your faith in us, but never in yourselves.
Sam feels the watch grip his wrist, prompting him to ask about a counterattack. I need to know how you're going to fight back. I know there's a plan. You're coming back with reinforcements, something. You can tell me. No other human will ever know. Optimus catches Sam's emphasis on the word human.
There is no plan.
Sentinel chastised you for caring about humanity, but now you're giving up on us. If we just do what they want, how are we going to live with ourselves?
You are my friend, Sam. You always will be. But your leaders have spoken. From here, the fight will be your own.
Optimus walks away and asks Bumblebee to keep the goodbye short. Lennox, Burke, Epps, and Simmons are all a short distance away. They watch as the Wreckers and Sideswipe salute them before loading onto the ship with Optimus. Leadfoot makes a comment about them launching at dawn. I wish it didn't have to be this way. You will always be my friend, Sam. But I gotta be going. Sam hugs him. You'll always be my first car. Bumblebee walks away and boards the ship, while Simmons rolls up to Sam. Years from now, they're gonna ask, where were you when they took over the planet?
I'm gonna say, we just stood by and watched.
Sam parts with Lennox and Burke, who return to a nearby airbase. By dawn, he has found a place a short distance away to watch the rocket launch, and the Autobot ship lifts off and flies away. Sam suddenly feels his phone buzz, and the watch grips his wrist until he grabs the phone and answers it, seeing it is from Dylan. You wanted an answer, you got it, Dylan.
Oh boy, how ironic it is to finally have you working for me.
Megatron?
I appreciate your help, Sam. I just needed to be sure.
Sure of what?
That Optimus would go without a fight.
He hangs up and switches channels.
Starscream, intercept the ship, then return to me immediately.
Starscream obeys, shooting the rocket down and then returning to the Nemesis. Sentinel watches with sorrow as the remains of the Autobot ship plummet to the ocean.
Sentinel, have you picked out the ideal location to launch the space bridge?
I have, Megatron. Shockwave. Shockwave opens a map of Earth and shows the coordinates of Chicago. The space bridge's aim must be astronomically precise, considering the distance to Cybertron.
Soundwave, bring our human correspondent to Chicago.
Sam slowly walks back to the base when the watch jumps off him and scurries away. Sam finds Simmons and Dutch, asking if they can track Dylan's phone. Dutch manages to hack it and sees Dylan and Michaela are en route to Chicago. They land on the lower penthouse of Trump Tower, while Soundwave takes post at the top of the tower. He connects himself to the tower, and suddenly all signal going in and out of Chicago ceases. Sam decides to go to Chicago. Epps joins him. "We'll get Michaela and bring this guy in." "Why are you helping me?" "'Cause the Autobots were my friends too." They get into Epps's car. "Speaking of which, time to call some old friends." He makes a call on his phone and puts it on speaker. After a few rings, someone picks up, speaking Spanish. Epps smiles at the familiar voice and responds with Spanish as well. Fig, it's Epps. I've got Sam with me." "Epps? Sam? It's good to hear from both of you guys." "Hey, Fig." "Fig, we got a favor to ask. Decepticons are preparing to attack Chicago. Michaela is trapped there. How quickly can you get in touch with Donnie?" "Pretty quick. He lives just a few minutes away." "Get in touch with him and meet us in St. Louis. I'll call up some old Nest friends. We'll head to Chicago." Sam and Epps begin their drive towards Chicago. In the horizon, the Nemesis breaks through the cloud line, also heading for Chicago. Dylan and Michaela watch from the Trump Tower penthouse as Megatron and Sentinel drive up to a nearby building. They transform and begin to scale it, terrifying everyone. Dylan looks conflicted, and Michaela seizes the moment. "Do you think they're going to keep you around forever? Megatron betrayed his entire world, and Sentinel betrayed the Autobots. You don't think they won't leave a knife in your back too? I want to survive. You think I asked for this?" Sentinel places 3 pillars in their cupolas, and then finishes by adding the control pillar to its podium on the building. Megatron orders Shockwave to leave the ground forces. "Shockwave, wrangle up any humans you can and prepare them for transport. Don't be afraid to lose a few. The inhabitants of this city can be made an example of, so the rest of this planet will fall into line." Sentinel informs Megatron that pillars are ready, and await the rest of the arsenal to be launched by Decepticons around the world. "Decepticons, seal off the city." The full Decepticon invasion force attacks the city. Dylan and Michaela watch as Soundwave coordinates Shockwave and Starscream's movements to close off the city and capture as many humans as possible. "They didn't tell you about this part, I guess. You think I'm in every meeting? We're safe here."
He said I'm safe.
Meanwhile, in St. Louis, Sam and Epps meet up with Donnie and Fig. Then they continue towards Chicago. On the way, the rest of Epps's Nest friends meet up with them. They finally see Chicago and drive towards the destroyed city. As they drive past, they see people fleeing, in much the same scene as the original film. Meanwhile, Lennox and Burke are coordinating with Simmons, Director Merrick, and General Morshower to try and get Special Forces into the city. Simmons mentions that Sam was trying to get to Trump Tower since Dylan is there. General Morshower orders many drones to be deployed to see if they can get any eyes on the city. Sam and his team park on the outskirts of the city and get out of their cars. They watch as several F-16s are blown out of the sky by Decepticon ships. "Are we really going out there, Epps?" "I'm not going in there." "No one is." "I am. With or without you, I'll find her." "Sam, you're gonna get yourself killed." "Is that what you want? Is that what you want? You came all the way out here to get yourself killed. She's in there because of me, okay? Listen, if you go in this building, that's if she's even still alive. There's no way you're gonna be able to reach her. What do you suggest I do?" "It's over." "I'm sorry, but it's over." Eddie shouts incoming as a Decepticon ship comes in, blowing up some civilians. The ship turns to the Nest team before suddenly being shot out of the sky. Optimus walks up behind them and reloads his gun. "Wreckers, prevent the Decepticons from learning of our presence." The Wreckers transform and tackle the pilot of the ship. "Wreckers, killing!" The scene plays out the same, with Optimus giving a short speech and the rest of the Autobots driving up.
For today, in the name of freedom, we take the battle to them.
The idea is floated of using the Decepticon ship to get further access to the city, and Wheeljack gets to work on repairing the ship while Sam and Bumblebee talk strategy. "So you can fly this thing, right?" So-so. It's been a few eons." "Well, that feels terrible." Epps hands Sam a pistol. "We're right behind you." Meanwhile, further into the city, Megatron and Sentinel stand atop their building. Michaela watches them from the penthouse, while the two watch Decepticons below herd crowds of civilians and outfit them with breathing masks so they will be fit to work on Cybertron.
The city is secure. The humans cannot stop us. As the afternoon falls, the rest of the pillars will reach their launch position. This is the victory I promised you, Sentinel, where we rebuild Cybertron. Together. I have gained to work with you, that our planet may survive.
He grabs Megatron's head and slams it into the wall.
I will never work for you. And you would be wise to remember the difference. You have already alienated the Autobots. Do not turn on the Decepticons as well. This alliance only exists so long as it is mutually beneficial, and you can't rebuild Cybertron on your own. You are cleaning up the mess you've made by betraying us all. Do not proclaim yourself as our planet's savior.
Bumblebee pilots up to Trump Tower and lets Sam off. Sam hides behind the counter and stares at the gun and magazine for a few moments, looking conflicted. While he is thinking, Bumblebee is staying close by, trying not to look suspicious, but Soundwave clocks him.
Airship TF-1987, state your purpose.
Sam sneaks up to Dylan and points the gun at him, demanding to know where Michaela is. Laserbeak transforms and tries to throw him off the building, but Bumblebee catches him with the ship. Michaela makes a run for it and gets onto the ship as well. Dylan picks up the gun Sam dropped and hides it as Bumblebee begins shooting at Laserbeak, blowing off the Decepticon's head. From atop the building, Soundwave shoots one of the engines on the ship, causing it to plummet. Sam and Michaela both make it inside the ship and, despite the crash, are okay. The rest of the Autobots then meet up with the trio. Both Soundwave and Dylan inform Megatron that the Autobots are alive and are here.
Decepticons, defend the pillars!
Raise the bridges! Find them!
The Autobots all attempt to talk strategy, while the Nest team has the idea to use a rocket launcher to shoot down the pillar, identifying a tall glass building. They also talk into the mini-drone, relaying what they know to Lennox and Burke, who begin assembling a strike team. Suddenly, the Autobots hear Starscream leading a group of Decepticons further up the road.
We need to move. Autobots, transform and roll out!
As Lennox is assembling the Nest soldiers, Burke is talking to the Osprey pilots. Hey, we're planning on going back to the city. You guys don't have to volunteer. It's probably going to be a one-way trip for all of us, but, especially for you guys. Despite Burke's warning, all of the Osprey pilots still volunteer, saying they'll transport as many Nest soldiers to the city as they can. Lennox and Burke then ask the soldiers for volunteers to go with them to Chicago. Everyone at the base volunteers, and they take a squadron of Ospreys and make their way towards Chicago. As the Ospreys take off, the Autobots race through the city streets. They manage to give Starscream's squadron the slip, and are now charging straight into the heart of Chicago. With the Decepticons spread out searching for them, they might be able to rush the pillars and stop the space bridge from activating. They are almost to the bridges, when suddenly... They are taken by surprise when the driller suddenly bursts out of the ground and chases them. Shockwave catches up with them and knocks over Optimus's trailer. Shockwave steps out of his driller and readies his cannon.
Soundwave, converge every Decepticon on my coordinates. I found the Autobots.
The Autobots manage to get everyone into a nearby building.
They got my trailer. I need that flight tech. Shockwave can't hunt all of us at once. Wreckers, we need a diversion.
Let's get some! You got that right. Listen, we're gonna circle around to that glass building. We'll get high enough to make the rocket shot, while you guys draw a fire. Sideswipe, lead Bumblebee, Dino, and Ratchet to ambush Soundwave. Until the communications officer is removed from the city network, we will be unable to use comms without being tracked. Wheeljack, Jolt, see if you can find a way to disable the fleet. Or the control pillar. 10-4, Optimus. Humans, I'm not letting you go out there without my urban combat prototypes. The humans pick up the prototypes Wheeljack drops. He gestures to each of them. Those are boomsticks. Arm in 30 seconds. And those are grapple gloves for climbing. The teams all split off. The Wreckers cover the other teams and race towards the approaching Shockwave. Shockwave takes note of the trajectories of the different Autobot teams before focusing his attention on the Wreckers. Despite laying down some serious firepower, the Wreckers barely put a dent in Shockwave, and decided it is best to fall back, having bought enough time for the other teams to make significant headway. The human team makes it to the building as the Ospreys make their final approach to the city. F-16s fly past the Ospreys to draw the attention of the Decepticon flyers, trying desperately to get even a single Osprey into the city. The Decepticons destroy the F-16s and turn their attention to the Ospreys, destroying a few, but the rest of the group gets clear and heads for Willis Tower. Soundwave watches them enter the city.
Starscream, human Ospreys have entered the city.
Send me coordinates. Starscream takes the Ospreys down, and Soundwave turns away, certain the attempt failed, until something catches his eye.
Get separation! Track away! Track away!
Lennox and his men deploy wingsuits and jump. As they clear the exploding Ospreys, Starscream watches in utter disbelief, and Soundwave is both confused and slightly impressed. Soundwave then spots more F-16s headed for the city.
Starscream, more F-16s on approach.
Starscream flies off to reinforce the Decepticon fighters, while Soundwave watches Nest soldiers descend into the city. He notifies nearby Decepticon fighters, and the sequence with them chasing Lennox and his men will remain the same. The team manages to thread the needle through the building, escaping the fighters, and deploy parachutes. Despite the Decepticons' best efforts, Nest forces are now in Chicago. Just as this happens, Sentinel orders the Decepticons around the world to launch the pillars. The human team at the top of the skyscraper sees arc energy start pulsing from the building as the rest of the pillars deploy. Michaela points out the spot where the control pillar is. Eddie prepares to fire the rocket when the driller suddenly appears. A quick note, rather than having the scene where the Decepticon finds them inside the floor and they have to slide down the outside and then through the inside of another floor, we are just going to go straight to the driller sequence. They look down and see Shockwave staring up at them with a US mini-drone floating next to him.
Soundwave hacked a mini-drone and used it to follow us. What is taking the Autobots so long?
The entire sequence of the driller knocking over the building and chewing its way towards them will remain the same. The humans get to the fire escape, but the driller has them cornered, when Optimus flies in on his jetpack, fights and kills the driller in much the same way he does in the original movie. As he starts to fly away, Shockwave lands a shot on him, causing him to get stuck in a bunch of cables, and the Wreckers come to help him.
Optimus! Wreckers! I can't deploy my Energon blades without destroying the jetpack chassis. We're coming!
Meanwhile, Sideswipe, Bumblebee, Dino, and Ratchet have almost made it to Soundwave. Sideswipe is clearly burdened. He believes it should have been Ironhide leading this mission. Ratchet gives Sideswipe some comfort.
Sideswipe, you have grown considerably since your arrival to Earth. Ironhide would be proud. We cannot change what happened, but we can ensure his death was not in vain.
Sideswipe is reinvigorated, and he prepares to take down Soundwave. He orders Bumblebee and Dino to scale one of the nearby buildings while he and Ratchet draw Soundwave's attention. Ratchet, we're gonna have to be fast. Make 2 Autobots feel like 20. The plan goes off pretty well. Soundwave orders Decepticons to Sideswipe and Ratchet's point, but they reposition and continue to distract Soundwave. Dino and Bumblebee make it to the top of the building. Bumblebee transforms, enters stealth mode, and drives off the roof, blasting the area on Trump Tower just below Soundwave. Shortly afterwards, Dino jumps off after him, and uses his grappling hooks to break the top of the building free, causing Soundwave to tumble to the streets below and disconnecting him from the city network. Sideswipe tells everyone that comms are back open and to get the military in here fast. The 4 Autobots then proceed to jump Soundwave. Since this is the first time the audience will see Soundwave in combat, they will get to see him deploy 2 tentacles in addition to his arms, similar to what Transformers Prime's version of Soundwave has. This allows him to take on all 4 bots at once. Bumblebee finally grabs 1 tentacle, and the other 3 Autobots follow suit. They restrain Soundwave's tentacles and arms, locking the Decepticon in place. Before any of them can make a move, a charging sound emits from Soundwave.
Soundwave superior. Autobots inferior.
Soundwave discharges a literal soundwave around him, blasting the 4 Autobots back. By the time they can recover, they are surrounded by Decepticons and forced to surrender. The human team has gotten away from the skyscraper and makes it into an alleyway. Gunfire hits the ground nearby and causes Sam and Michaela to accidentally split off from the rest of the team. The rest of the team makes it into a nearby building and then notices that not everyone is present. Where's Sam and Michaela? They must have went the other way. Epps turns to Eddie. I give you one thing to do. One thing to do. Eddie gives his same response as the original movie.
I'm trying to keep it together.
Sam and Michaela sneak through an alley as Starscream descends from the sky and ambushes them. What a treat! You and me alone! Sam and Michaela try to run. Sam has Michaela hide, and then Starscream finds him. I love it when your little insect feet try to run. Thought you were working for us, boy. Sam starts rummaging through his bag for the grapple glove. Though it has occurred to me, Lord Megatron never was able to exact his revenge on you for killing him. Imagine how grateful my liege will be when I not only lead the charge to destroy the Autobot resistance, but also deliver his least favorite human to him. I do believe that would restore my stature quite nicely. Then it would be a matter of regaining his trust, letting him and Sentinel destroy each other, and then put a knife in the back of the survivor and seize rule of Cybertron for myself. Sam fires the grapple shot into Starscream's eye, causing him to scream and flail around. From here, the sequence will remain the same for a little bit. Lennox's Nest team will show up and help fight Starscream. Sam will jab the boomstick into Starscream's other eye, dislodging it but not completely blinding him. This is where the change will happen. Instead of Lennox and Sam being tugged around by Starscream while the boomstick is armed, Lennox is able to cut Sam free of the grapple glove before the two of them get pulled up by Starscream's flailing. Just before the bomb goes off, Starscream manages to pull it out of his eye, throw it away, and flies off screaming. Sam, Michaela, and Lennox's team begin moving towards the pillar. They radio command to try and get the bridges down so they can cross to the other side. Meanwhile, Wheeljack and Jolt have snuck up to within firing distance of the control pillar. Wheeljack is futzing with another boomstick. He hopes that he can create one with enough firepower to destroy the control pillar. Jolt, meanwhile, senses the electrical pulses coming from the control pillar and recognizes it. Ah, scrap. Do you have any ideas? Because I'm starting to have doubts about this whole boomstick plan. I might. I recognize the energy emanating from the control pillar. Do you remember hearing about the Fallen's powers? His telekinetic capabilities? Yeah. The electrical pulse from the pillar is similar to that. I was able to disrupt the Fallen's powers at one point when I got close enough. I may be able to do that again. That's a ton of power. That might kill you. No, it probably will kill you. If it saves humanity and keeps our world from tyrannical rule, then it's worth it. Well, let's try the boomstick idea before you do a suicide run. Here, let's go. They both stand up and start to move, before an energon blast hits the ground between them, sending them both flying and hitting the ground. Shockwave walks up to them, his arm cannon raised.
Your mission was most illogical.
The Wreckers help Optimus break free of the cranes. He manages to get his sword out and cut himself free. The Wreckers then meet him at the bottom of the cranes. Optimus, we've lost contact with the other teams. Go find them. I will make repairs at my trailer and meet you. But I need all of your explosives. I have an idea. Back at Nest Command, Simmons, Dutch, and Director Mering try to get the bridges down while General Morshower orders a Tomahawk wave to target the Nemesis. Simmons is a little confused why they aren't targeting the fleet at large, but Morshower reveals his idea. We're hoping to destroy the Decepticons' morale, and a large portion of the Decepticon fleet is currently on standby aboard the Nemesis. Sam, Michaela, and Lennox's team meet back up with Epps' team by the bridges across the river. Lennox, Epps, Burke, Donnie, and Fig all reunite in a touching scene. Sam and Michaela watch on while Dutch tries to override the bridges. It's 128 binary encryption code. It's difficult, but not for me. I'm in. Bridge down. The team sees the bridges coming down and start making their way across the river while the other military groups arrive. The Navy SEALs emerge from the river, having snuck in under the Decepticon ships. They meet up with the Nest teams, and Lennox has them find a vantage point to act as snipers. Sentinel and Megatron both watch the bridges start coming down. Dylan joins them on top of the building. They both ignore him. Meanwhile, Sam and Michaela find the Autobot prisoners and hide under a nearby car. Sentinel moves towards the control pillar as Megatron contacts Soundwave. Soundwave, the bridges have come down. What is happening? Soundwave is a little ways away near the river. He has Sideswipe, Bumblebee, Dino, and Ratchet held at gunpoint. At the same time, Shockwave walks up with the captured Wheeljack and Jolt in tow. The humans must have overridden the bridge command, Lord Megatron. What do we do with the captured Autobots? No prisoners.
Only trophies.
Sentinel looks at Megatron, his face conflicted. Megatron glares back at him, as if daring Sentinel to try something. Shockwave walks up to Soundwave and points to Wheeljack.
That one had an explosive device on him capable of destroying the control pillar.
Soundwave nods and gestures to the Decepticons holding him at gunpoint.
Your time is up.
Barricade hands the boomstick to Shockwave, and Shockwave breaks it. As Wheeljack is shoved forward, he gives Jolt a look, silently begging him to finish the job. Barricade shoots Wheeljack twice, killing him. Jolt and Ratchet both cry out as Bumblebee slumps his head and says goodbye. Sam and Michaela are shocked, and Sam grabs a boomstick, trying to help, but it short-circuits.
Shockwave, Space Bridge transport is about to begin. Your presence is required. Understood, Master.
Shockwave excuses himself, heading towards Sentinel and Megatron so that he can oversee the first group of humans being transported to Cybertron. Sentinel is not happy at hearing an Autobot prisoner has been killed, but he resolves himself.
This is necessary.
Activating the bridge.
The space bridge opens above Earth. Megatron and Sentinel become mesmerized at seeing Cybertron after so long.
Home. At last.
Meanwhile, Shockwave outfits a group of about 200 humans with breathing masks. These masks are similar to the masks the humans use in the Avatar movies. Upon Barricade's request, Soundwave grabs Bumblebee and prepares to shoot him. As Bumblebee struggles and tries to push back, he sees Sam and is scared at seeing his friend being forced to watch him get executed. Ratchet also notices Sam and tries to slowly shuffle to the side so that he can block Sam from being forced to watch Bumblebee get executed. However, the Decepticon will not let him move any further. Soundwave readies his gun, but is interrupted by a series of explosions rocketing overhead. The first wave of tomahawks targeted the Nemesis. Some of them hit the energon lines and blew open the engine. The ship starts plummeting towards the ground. Bumblebee deploys his battle mask, taking advantage of Soundwave's shock, and starts fighting him. The other Autobots are still being held at gunpoint, when suddenly the Wreckers drive down the road, firing at the Decepticons. This allows the other Autobots to also break free and start fighting. After Soundwave throws Bumblebee and shoots at him, he begins charging his Soundwave up again, but Dino runs up behind him and stabs him in the back, breaking the device and allowing Bumblebee to dig his cannon into Soundwave's chest and shoot his head off. This happens just as the Nemesis crashes into the middle of the river, killing a large number of Decepticons and destroying the flagship of the Decepticon fleet. Meanwhile, the Nest teams get in position, and the Navy SEALs ready themselves from their sniper points. By this point, Starscream has finally stumbled his way to Shockwave, still complaining about his eye. While this is happening, Lennox and Epps' teams are setting up.
Starscream, what happened?
Those cursed humans! I just need my eye popped back into place.
Shockwave begins to help him. The snipers inform Lennox that they are almost set up.
Alright, we go on the sniper signal.
Shockwave is trying to help Starscream, but it is clear his attempts are causing Starscream a bit of pain.
Ah, I know you find this gratifying, Shockwave.
No, but I am glad to see you now share my perception of things. Shockwave shifts Starscream's eye, and he cries out in pain.
Oh, just give it here. I'll take care of it myself.
Barricade then drives up to the Decepticon squadron, being the only survivor from Soundwave's group.
Shockwave, Soundwave is dead, and the Autobots are coming. Decepticons, battle positions, defend the pillars.
Starscream finally pops his eye back into place.
There. Oh, will my torment never end? First I lose my eye, then I fail to capture Sam, and Megatron will have my head when this is all over. I fail to see how this day could possibly get any worse.
He flies away screaming, and he ends up really flailing now that he has lost his second eye. With the snipers opening fire, Lennox's team begins parachuting down, while Epps' demo team uses Wheeljack's final boomsticks to blow the legs off several Decepticons. The movie plays out from here until Sentinel sees the Autobots getting closer.
It's our world now. Commence transport.
He activates something on the control pillar. A smaller beam comes down from the space bridge and envelopes the group of humans outfitted with breathing masks. They are only moments away from being transported to Cybertron. The Autobots are trying to break through, but even with Shockwave's injuries, the Autobots can't get to the pillars.
Sideswipe, we can't get through.
The sound of a jetpack is suddenly heard.
Autobots, I will clear a path.
Optimus flies in. He detaches his jetpack, which he outfitted with the explosives from the wreckers, and the explosion throws the Decepticons into disarray. He slashes through the Decepticons in much the same way he does the original movie. As he approaches Shockwave, Optimus pulls out his brass knuckles and uses them to disconnect the hose on Shockwave's gun from his back. He grabs the gun and tries to point it towards the control pillar, but Shockwave is resisting.
Shockwave, hold still!
Optimus is finally able to wrestle control of the gun from Shockwave. Optimus fires Shockwave's gun, destroying the cupola housing the control pillar. This stops the transport sequence and shuts the space bridge down, snapping Megatron and Sentinel into action. The humans begin to flee now that the space bridge is closed. Shockwave also flees as the Autobots begin to close in, since the control pillar is still functional, just inactivated. Optimus stands at the base of the building, looking up at Sentinel and Megatron.
Megatron, Sentinel, get down here!
Megatron begins to move, but is pushed out of the way by Sentinel.
He's mine.
He shouts to Optimus as he draws his double-bladed sword and his shield.
Optimus, you forget your place.
He jumps down.
I bring you Cybertron, your home, and still you choose humanity.
Optimus draws his Energon axe and sword.
You were the one who taught me freedom is everyone's right.
The two of them proceed to have their same fight. As they're fighting, Sam tells Mikaela he will be okay, and he has to get to the control pillar. Sentinel orders the Decepticons to fire on Optimus, and a quick shot of Megatron shows the Decepticon leader was not too happy to hear Sentinel giving orders. The Autobots turn their attention towards covering for Optimus and fighting Sentinel.
Decepticons! Trigger the pillar!
Restart that pillar!
Megatron had been firing at the Autobots from atop the building, when he hears Sentinel's shout. He looks at Dylan, who has not done anything. Megatron points to the pillar while staring at him.
Why are you still here?
Dylan runs inside to get to the bottom floor and get to the pillar.
Decepticons, I command you. Focus fire on the humans. Force the Autobots into defensive positions. Sentinel, re-trigger your pillar.
Sentinel and Megatron glare at each other, until the wreckers rush Sentinel and he gets entrenched in battle. The other Autobots defend the humans, trying to hold out until the second wave of Tomahawks arrive. Megatron then spots Starscream flailing around nearby, and he jumps down the building to go to him. As the Tomahawks come in and destroy the rest of the Decepticon airships, Mikaela watches as Megatron walks up to Starscream.
Starscream, Master, you have found me. It is a miracle. Oh, it will be a miracle, Starscream, if you survive the rest of today. But, Lord Megatron, I can still serve you. Without me and Soundwave, Sentinel will have more sway over the Decepticons. Extinguishing my spark would be a great mistake. A great mistake? I've made a few, but there is one I do not intend to make again.
He picks up Starscream and rips him in half, but he stands around to ponder what Starscream said about Sentinel.
I betrayed the Fallen, and now...
His face contorts with rage. Meanwhile, Dylan makes it to the pillar a few seconds before Sam does. As they both climb up the control pillar, Dylan spins around and pulls out the gun Sam dropped when he was attacked by Laserbeak in Trump Tower. Stop! Stop! You don't have to do this, okay? Dylan hesitates for a second, but then readies himself. There's only one future for me. He pulls the trigger on the pistol, but it clicks with the sound of an empty magazine. Before he can fully register what happened, Sam hits him in the leg, almost as if Sam anticipated the gun wouldn't fire. The two struggle, but Dylan manages to get his hand on the control pillar, reactivating it and reopening the space bridge. Megatron looks up to see his homeworld within sight again.
Cybertron, you are saved. At last.
He looks down, ready to hunt Sentinel now that his purpose has been fulfilled. He stops, seeing Mikaela standing before him.
Your groveling will have to wait, fleshling. I have business to attend to.
He readies his shotgun and starts walking away. Was it all worth it? Megatron turns back.
Obviously.
All your work to get Sentinel on your side, and now he has all the power. It's almost tragic.
The Alliance exists so long as it is mutually beneficial. You dare lecture me?
Starscream was right. Your Decepticons finally conquered this planet, and yet their leader won't be you.
It will be me. It will always be me.
Mikaela gestures for him to listen. As they do, they hear Sentinel shouting orders from a distance away. Doesn't sound like it. Megatron roars at her, and then clenches his fist, being reminded that he is in the same position the Fallen was when Megatron betrayed him. The sequence from here remains pretty much the same. Sentinel fights the Autobots before being blasted back by the RPG, and is forced to flee with Optimus chasing after him. At the same time, Dylan kicks Sam down from the pillar platform. Optimus catches up to Sentinel, and the two fight on the bridge. Optimus is now fighting with a newfound ferocity, as he remembers everyone lost because of Sentinel's betrayal. Despite his anger, Optimus is overpowered by Sentinel, has his arm severed, and is on the ground begging for his life.
We were gods once, all of us, but here, please, there will only be one.
Sentinel raises his sword to kill Optimus, but is stopped from bringing it down. He looks over his shoulder to find Megatron holding the other end of the blade.
Megatron, what are you doing? It is Lord Megatron.
He punches Sentinel in the face.
And Optimus is mine to kill.
And remember, Sentinel. He grabs Sentinel and starts pummeling him.
This is my planet!
Sentinel is able to regain his footing, and he prepares to fight Megatron and one-armed Optimus for the fate of both Earth and Cybertron. Dylan turns away from the space bridge to see Sam holding a piece of rubble as a weapon. Get out of here, Sam, and I won't have to kill you. Sam reaches into his pocket and pulls out a handful of bullets. Even when he held Dylan at gunpoint, he never intended to shoot him. Oh, so you think you're a hero? Huh? You think you're a hero? No, I'm just a consultant. Sam hits Dylan with the debris. Dylan stumbles back and trips over a ledge. Sam is shocked and reaches for him, but it is too late. Dylan hits the control pillar and is electrocuted to death. As Sam stands there stunned, a group of Decepticons take aim at Sam. Fig and Burke get to him in time and tackle him off the platform, but they get hit by those same Decepticons while protecting Sam. The Decepticons try and form a perimeter around the pillar, keeping it defended, but the Autobots deal with the final group. Lennox, Epps, and Donnie try to shoot the control pillar, but it seems to be shielded.
The electrical current is keeping it invulnerable. I know what to do. Wheeljack, this is for you.
Jolt attaches his electrical whips to the control pillar and sends out his own electrical current. As his current merges with the control pillar, he cries out in pain, and parts of his outer shell begin to peel off like paint coming off a car. Ratchet and Bumblebee make a run for the control pillar, and destroy it now that Jolt has disrupted the current. Everyone is flung back as the control pillar explodes, and Ratchet looks up to see the space bridge vortex begin to flicker. Ratchet opens comms. Optimus, we did it. Optimus and Megatron are neck deep in a battle with Sentinel. This scene will adapt to the original ending of Dark of the Moon, where Megatron and Optimus fight Sentinel, but the fight will be a struggle for both of them, and it culminates in Sentinel being hit by his own rust cannon. As the rust begins to spread across his body, Sentinel slumps onto one knee.
Optimus, all I ever wanted was the survival of our race. You must see why I had to betray you.
You didn't betray me. You betrayed yourself. Sentinel falls onto his back and watches as the space bridge vortex collapses and Cybertron disappears from view. The rust then overtakes him, and he dies the same way as Ironhide skids at Mudflap. Meanwhile, back where the control pillar used to be, Lennox, Epps, Donnie, and Sam find Fig and Burke. The blast they took protecting Sam was fatal, and the group shares their goodbyes with the two. All of them, including Burke, manage to say goodbye to Fig in Spanish before the two of them stop breathing. The four humans comfort each other as Lennox and Epps close the eyes of their team members. Nearby, Ratchet works to try and help Jolt. Jolt's metal is covered in electrical burns, and most of his outer shell was ripped off when he connected to the control pillar. The other Autobots all gather around Jolt as he thanks each of them. He thanks Bumblebee for being a true friend, Sideswipe for displaying how to be confident in oneself, Dino for teaching him some new tricks since they both have grappling armaments, and Ratchet for being a source of encouragement during his time on Earth. But Ratchet is still in denial.
No, Jolt. I can't lose another patient.
It's okay, Ratchet. You've done all that you can. You taught me how to make tough decisions. This was mine. Jolt's eyes begin to flicker.
This never gets easier. Goodbye, Jolt. May your spark find comfort among those who have passed before us, my friend.
Jolt smiles, and his eyes go out. The Autobots place his body next to Fig and Burke, as human and Autobot mourn together. Back on the bridge, Megatron and Optimus are in a standoff. Megatron looks to Optimus.
Now, we need a truce. All I want is to be back in charge. Besides, who would you be without me, Prime?
Time to find out.
Optimus grabs his Energon axe with his one arm, raises it, and tries to hit Megatron in the area between his head and shoulder, just above the collarbone, the exact spot Megatron hit him when he betrayed everyone back on Cybertron. Megatron grabs it before it makes contact.
I will not fight you, Prime. I am tired of fighting. Besides, you and I are not so different after all.
He gestures to the position of the axe. Optimus's eyes widen, seeing that he and Megatron have swapped places, and he is now the one attempting to kill another in cold blood. Optimus drops the axe and steps back. Megatron drops his shotgun.
I sue for peace, Optimus. I will order all Decepticons to stand down. Shockwave, wherever he is, made progress on his own space bridge. Once he finishes it, all can return to Cybertron and rebuild it, as one united people.
Why should I believe you, Megatron? After everything, all the lies and deception. What am I supposed to think about this truce?
Honestly, Prime, it does not matter to me what you think, but trust that I want what is best for Cybertron, and the past few hours have shown me that what is best for Cybertron is not for me to rule it with an iron fist. I dedicated my life to the betterment of Cybertron, but now I see the way to make it better is not for me to lead. That's the irony of it, I suppose.
Megatron takes a step forward, winces, and slumps forward.
Megatron!
Optimus can now see that he has several stab wounds in his back. The fight was fierce, and Sentinel managed to get a few good hits in with the sword.
Optimus, please, if you can find it in your spark, make my end swift.
Optimus picks up his Energon axe and walks to Megatron.
I'm sorry, Megatron. So am I, Optimus.
Megatron looks up to see Shockwave and the remaining dozen Decepticons standing at the other end of the bridge.
Shockwave, return to your laboratory. Finish your space bridge, so that all Cybertronians may return home.
Understood, my liege. Go peacefully into the Allspark.
Megatron lowers his head.
I am ready.
Optimus raises his axe and brings it down, beheading Megatron and giving him a merciful death. Optimus turns to Shockwave.
Is it true, Shockwave? Can you rebuild the space bridge? I finished most of my work before we brought the Ark to the moon. I needed to understand the control pillar to finish it. Sentinels may be destroyed, but I learned enough from observation. When the time is right, I will send for you.
Shockwave looks at Optimus for a few more moments. If there was something Shockwave wanted to say, he does not share. Instead, Shockwave opens a ground bridge, and he plus the remaining Decepticons disappear from view. The Autobots all walk up. Sam and Michaela reunite. The two of them have a similar conversation that Sam and Carly have in the original movie. Oh, that reminds me. He opens his chest and takes out an engagement ring, handing it to Sam. Where did you get this? I'm just trying to help out. Michaela says yes, and the two embrace the cheers from the Nest team and the Autobots. Sam looks to Optimus, who smiles. Optimus's ending narration will remain the same.
In any war, there are calms between storms. There will be days when we lose faith, days when our allies turn against us. But the day will never come that we forsake this planet and its people.
Linkin Park plays, and the credits roll.
Woo! That one was a doozy to edit.
Hi everyone, this is David. I hope you enjoyed the video. I decided to mix up the intro and outro format. I wanted to just try and get into the actual story this time around. So let me know if you actually like that, because I personally prefer not having to record an entire intro. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the rewrite. Finally finished the trilogy. I was really excited with how this one turned out. If you did like it, I would really appreciate a like, a comment, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe because I'm going to be putting out more videos. Sorry about the delay on this one, by the way. This one was, first of all, a behemoth to record and edit. Quick peek behind the curtain. Usually I record the voiceovers all in one go. This one required 2 separate hour and 15-minute recording sessions. So yeah, this one was a doozy. On top of that, I started a new job in a research position, so very excited about that, but obviously have had less time to do editing. And also the slightly less excusable reason of Helldivers 2 came out on Xbox, and my friends and I have been playing that a lot. Anyways, with the Dark of the Moon rewrite all done, hey, we finished out one trilogy, might as well go for another. Next one is the Jurassic World Dominion rewrite, finishing up Jurassic World rewrite series, which I'm very excited to share what I have cooked up for that one. And then after that, I have tons of plans. I've been debating whether or not I want to make some sort of channel update video detailing what's coming next after the Dominion video comes out. I'm still on the fence about it, so if that's something you would want to hear, then please let me know. For now, though, I've been David with the Rewrite Workshop. You've been you. Be good to each other, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.